physicality time, they just outwilled you guys. Tonight it just seemed like they were just playing basketball, not complaining, and you guys were doing some frustration things that you've mentioned the last month or so.
Yeah, I mean, maybe on a particular play. I mean, I don't know all you know.
There was one time where DeMar didn't get a call and kind of just laid underneath the basket and then played, but it just seemed that wasn't the only one. I mean, there were some other instances.
Yeah.
They just come out and play physical, and it seems your guys get caught up in things.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit. Like, listen, I mean, we did. First of all, we just didn't shoot the ball well, right? And Sam, you and I talk about this. I'm not a big believer it's a make or miss league. I never believed that. Okay. But the bottom line was we physically competed in that second quarter and held them to 13 points and battled. Those guys battled, you know what I mean, now. And I thought we came out in the third quarter and got some some pretty good stuff. But, you know, you look at the Philadelphia game, the way it was a low-scoring game. These games, to your point, Joe, they're gonna be like that. It's going to be ugly, grind out. Could we have been better in those areas? Probably. You know, I wouldn't say we were perfect. I think our guys were trying to compete. I felt that way, you know, from the bench. I thought there was a couple plays like Kobe went for that. I went for a loose ball and a long pass. I think Love threw it long. It got kind of deflected, and Kobe dove for it. Like, there was plays there where I thought our guys were trying to mix it up a little bit, and we tried to get to the glass. We generated some second chance opportunities. But to your point, were we graded at the whole entire game? No, but I don't think that it was like we were complaining the whole game either. You know, I think our guys tried to battle through a very, very difficult shooting. And listen, I do think a big part of this is, you know, this is, I think, the part for even like Kobe and Io consistency-wise, where they're at this level against Atlanta, and then you got to be able to come back. Maybe not that he's going to score 42 points again, but, you know, just keep coming back. We got to do some more of that. I think our guys competed. I do think the game was physical. Where I struggled more is I thought at times they drove the ball through us. I didn't like that, you know, but I thought like the loose balls, and I thought we were really battling and trying there a little bit.
And then a second part follow-up to this. Obviously, we're not going to get you again for a while. I mean, this is all fresh and open wound, but so this is a big picture question. How would you guys justify bringing this group back? I mean, to me, it seems like this is, you know, we bring up injuries, we bring up all the stuff, but at the end of the day, it's a result league, and this is 3 seasons of falling short of what was expected or what was hoped for. Do you guys really have to do some soul searching and say it's time to go in a different direction with this group?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to speak for Arturis. I'm just giving you my. Yeah, no, I'm giving you my opinion. Okay. I'm giving you my opinion. And this is without any conversations with Arturis, but this is just how I feel. You know, I think in my conversations with Arturis, the feeling was, you know, can we generate and create, you know, some continuity, you know, with the group? I mean, I think that was kind of the overriding thing. That continuity just never happened, quite honestly. I don't believe it happened, you know, and the reason it didn't happen because we've got basically 2 starters out. So it really, and again, I think, and I've said this from day one when all this stuff happened, I think there was enough in that locker room to compete, you know, and whatever it was after the start, we got 5 or 6 games above 500. Certainly we want to be better than that. I'm not like championing that, but what could have been a very, very difficult, challenging, disastrous season, those guys turned into an opportunity to get to the playoffs 1 game away, and we didn't earn that. So I think the plan, at least in my conversations last year talking to Arturis, was let's see what this group, let's get, you know, this group together with the understanding that Lonzo was probably, we knew he wasn't coming back. So it wasn't like, you know, we got this news this summer that we knew that. So I don't know where he is, you know, with that. I don't want to speak for him, but I do know that at least the plan, my conversations with them was, hey, let's keep the group together, continue, let's see what this looks like. Let's see if we can make a step of growth, you know, got to get more connected as a team, all that stuff. And with the way the season kind of unfolded with several different injuries, it's really, really hard to sit there and say that because there was no continuity this year. There just wasn't, you know. Really from start to finish, we dealt with maybe a lack of continuity, but I think that was the initial goal, was to try to create some consistency.
But at the same time, maybe this is just a roster that can't have continuity, that can't stay healthy. I mean, their ability to be available is not there. So, I mean, does that have to go into the thought?
I think this is just my guess, and I have not, like, the one thing I appreciate with Arturis, and I've said this to you guys, when there's stuff like really pressing he needs to talk to me about, he does, but he really just allows me to focus on the team and the guys and the next game and those kind of things, and I appreciate that. So everything that I'm saying right now is just my opinion on it. I would say that he's probably going to look into all that. I would that would be my guess, but I haven't had any conversations to sit there and say what he would be looking at. For me personally is, how do I get better? How do we get better staffing wise? I mean, I've always said that's the first thing I'll look at. He'll probably end up talking to me about the team and, what his thoughts are from the year and all that other stuff. Again, it's a result-oriented business. We didn't get the results ultimately that we wanted to get as competitive as we were. But I would say this, from my standpoint, being with these guys every single day, I really, really, really appreciated and respected how hard what they did this year for each other and for the organization. Because, like I said, you're 5-14, you're not even in the playoff picture at all. They fought their way back. And you know what? I think at times we did play good basketball. We were not a great three-point shooting team all the time. There was things that we lacked and weren't great at, but I thought the spirit and the fight and the way they tried to compete was really, really good all year long. But I think to your question, Joe, the biggest thing is going to be those conversations once I have. But I do know, at least going into last year, that was a thing, and I don't know how they're going to view the feeling of let's create continuity when there was no continuity,
Billy, I got sort of a two-part question. They're both related. Your two biggest, or your free agent acquisitions, Torrey Craig and Javon Carter, didn't really play in two must-win games.
Yep.
Why was that, number one? And then number two, the flip side of that is Dalen Terry, sort of second-round guy, became your sixth man. I mean, what does that say about him and his future?
Yeah, Torrey was cleared to play. So this was totally my decision. I don't want to make it seem like there was any ailment going on. Okay, it was like my decision. And at times, I didn't feel like he was necessarily moving like he was capable of moving all the time. And I think he worked hard to get back to that. I think the emergence of Javonte when he came in and how he fit in with the group and his energy is kind of what I thought he needed. I threw Torrey in, for maybe 5 or 6 minutes against Atlanta, played maybe a little bit more. Forget about when the game was over, I put him back. But I kind of, with what Javonte was able to do with the group, I just kind of went with him. Tonight was a game where I felt like we were going to be doing a lot of switching on the perimeter, and there was going to be a lot of maybe potential post-up situations, and I tried to play maybe a little bit more length and size and probably decided to go with Dalen. I said this about Javon quite a bit. He always keeps himself ready when his number's called, and he's always, when he's been out of the rotation and hasn't played, he's always responded and come back well. Those two things were probably my decision today of what I thought was best for the group playing against this team tonight.
Really one.
Yeah, and Dalen got better. He really, really got better. I give him a lot of credit. He improved. He got better.